Hello and welcome back to our Lowborn playthrough, and we're here once again with Barney, as we are going to be heading into a 4 in a row with weapons, yes. Now, do bear in mind, I'm probably not going to be doing that much more in regards to the pit fighting. I think it is an extremely efficient way of getting yourself some early game money, especially when you don't really have the opportunity to recruit people. Right, if you're using the same mod list that I'm using. By the way, there is a link in the description if you want to see the entire mod list. I actually couldn't fit it into the description of the video because there are just so many. And I made sure to obviously give you links to every single mod as well. So if you just want specific ones, then there you go. You can have a look at every single one of them, as I have gone the extra mile and given you those links. So if you want to see a particular thing from Nexus, then they're all there. They are all there. And hopefully it's going to be helpful to you if you do decide to download one of these. And they're all, they're all in order. And yeah, all that wonderful stuff. So hopefully that's useful to you. But there you go. That's it. That's probably our final pit fight that we're going to do here. Because obviously, as I said before, I do want to try and try to get as much. I'm actually not entirely sure if our caravan is even making money. No, our caravan is not making money at the moment. Okay, I'm a little bit concerned by this. I'm kind of hoping. Okay, I'm kind of hoping that she's going to do a relatively good job. I mean, I assume she hasn't done any trading yet, right? I'm assuming that is the case. Anyway, this is Forbury. Okay, so it's been a long time since I've actually explored Forbury. I do have a series on it where I literally just completely focus on being a bandit warlord. And if you want to check that out, there isn't a link in the description, but if you go to my channel and you just type in the search bar on my channel, you just go, yeah, bandit, or, Forbury or something like that. I actually don't know what its keywords are, but basically if you just put in bandit, it should probably come up. But yeah, otherwise, as you can see here, bandit connection. Look at this. Support this faction to improve your relation with them and unlock bandit-related features. So hostile actions against this faction will greatly reduce your relations. You may face severe consequences once your relation reaches -10 or below. So you can negotiate a truce, as you can see here. You can get some lads. You can trade, heal your wounds, become neutral with your clan. The Cove, I don't know what that means. Call the Horde, I don't know what that means either. I don't know what any of these mean because Forbury has come a very, very long way. And yeah, you can even do more stuff like this. For example, gain +1 relation per donation equivalent to a +50 strength increase. You can see here that the strength of the mountain bandits will actually increase as you donate more and more to them. Same thing with loot. And then you can obviously, if you get a significantly high relation, or 25 in this case, you're going to be able to build a safe house. And yeah, heal your wounds, as you can see there. You need a relation of 10+. You need to be neutral to get war dogs. I actually have no idea what that means. And then, yeah, all this other stuff. You can even request nearby bandits to follow you around and do all that wonderful stuff. So, yeah, technically we could do that if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that right now. What I am going to do, though, is I am going to be going in to the trader because I'm going to do a little bit of trading. I'm not going to do a huge amount, like I said in the previous episode. I don't really want to bore you by just running around constantly, just trading, but I will show you. Okay, basically what I'm going to do from now is I'm going to do trading, and if I get a significant trade, and I'm talking about, 5,000, 10,000, something like that in one go, I'll show you that. But if I'm getting very minuscule amounts, like, 500 here, 1,000 there, so on and so forth, I will probably not show you that because that's not very exciting, but, I'm just giving you the lowdown. I'm just giving you the lowdown on what's going to happen here. Well, considering we do have a perk to spend as well as a focus point, I thought I might as well cut back here. I haven't done any trading yet. I am actually on my way to do some, because what I wanted to do was sell some grain to a recently besieged city, because usually that's a surefire way of getting you some quick cash, especially having a very, very low front-loaded amount of money spent, which is super, super nice, right? So that's kind of what I'm going to go for here. However, what we're going to try to do, I think I probably want to go for additional damage against shields. I hate shields, so I'm going to try to destroy those as best as I can. And I wouldn't mind actually getting some more riding skill. I feel like that could be kind of useful, but actually, you know what? I probably should go for something like leadership, or yeah, I feel like leadership, or maybe even medicine, to be honest. I feel like, you know what? Let's do medicine. I do want to get to hopefully 275. I'd like to have my skill mastery mod actually do something, right? And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go in against these bandits. There's 14 of them, so I'm a little bit concerned, obviously, about our looters, because they're probably not going to be particularly useful here. However, we're not going to get anything if we don't try, right? We are really not going to get anything. Even if I get myself captured, that's just how things are going to have to be, okay? I will be showing you pretty much everything there is to show. So if I fail and absolutely suck and die, and get captured thousands of times, even though, to be fair, I'll probably just tell you that I got captured in comparison to showing you thousands of times, because let's face it, that would get a little bit repetitive. But the fact is, I am going to show you everything, because that is the nature of the playthrough, obviously. I want to make sure that you see everything that has transpired, because if I don't, then it's like, well, what happened? What happened here? How did you get from point A to point B? That kind of thing. I think it makes a huge, huge difference in seeing that. Obviously, it very much depends on your taste. Sometimes people don't really want to see everything, But I think it's important to show that kind of stuff, at least when it comes to significant progression or fights like this, for example, because you have no idea. Maybe I'm going to get killed, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm going to die. And that's how things are going to go. I don't know. But, yeah, we should be absolutely fine. I don't know where Gordiana is. She's having some, well, I wouldn't say issues, but she's definitely having, she's definitely making things a little bit more difficult for herself than she has to by charging so far away. She's literally riding so far away from the actual mob of enemies and then deciding to come back in, which I think is quite amusing. Can she actually? Oh no. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get out my one-handed. Okay, this is a falchion, so it's absolutely terrible. Oh wow, look at that! I'm actually getting some skill points. Oh, that is so funny. 8 skill points. That's insane. Okay, yeah, I'd love to. Why am I taking so little damage, by the way? Am I not on the maximum damage modifier? I should be taking so much more damage right now. Huh. I need to check that, actually. I think I need to check that and make sure that I am actually on the maximum, because I haven't changed it since we started, okay? I literally haven't, so I'm kind of a little bit perplexed as to what's going on there, but okay, I am going to check it after this. Anyway, 80 polearm skill, that's pretty nice. That's not too bad. And I think we should have this in the bag. Oh, you know what? Let me just switch to my one-handed again. Let me just take him out. There we go. Nice. Nice and easy. There it is. Nice and easy, 1, 2, 3. And that's it. There you go. We got some nice one-handed skill. Obviously, one-handed isn't exactly what I want, but there you go. 4.2 influence. Massive amounts of charm skill. This is exactly the reason why I wanted to do this, because thanks to, yeah, you guessed it, thanks to one of our other mods, we are gaining a significant amount of relation with notables in the area. And that relation is going to, you guessed it, oh yeah, it's going to convert into charm skill. Oh yeah, it's going to convert into charm skill super, super nicely. And I'm very, very pleased with this. Oh yeah, look at this. Massive amounts of perks as well. Okay, so For me personally, I very much appreciate the Firebrand skill. I think the Firebrand perk is so good. Not because of the minus 25% influence cost to initiate kingdom decisions. I don't really care about that too much. What I do care about is the +1 recruitment slot, right? From rural notables. That means noble villages, right? Noble villages. That's kind of what we want to go for there. So that's what I'm going to go. And we'll otherwise get nomadic traditions, even though, no offense right now, but I personally think that nomadic traditions is a very minor speed increase. And I'm talking about very minor. And we're going to go for 10% increased thrusting damage with polearms. We like a good thrust, don't we? And otherwise, we'll go for wrapped handles because I never usually use the bashing or anything like that. I'm not a big fan of bashing in general. But yes, unless it's bashing butts as well as D's, you get it. You know what I'm referencing. Okay, so yeah. Otherwise, let's just let's sell everything that we can here. Sell this. Okay, we're getting 1,000. That's actually pretty nice, if I do say so myself. We have 13 charcoal, which is not very nice. But we are obviously going to be making our way on somewhere else. We're going to be going to Jalmaris. Yes, we're going to be going to Jalmaris. Okay, so there's 1,000. Let's go into the smithy. I would like to smelt all of this. Can I do it? Is it possible? Yes, it is. It is possible. Very nice. Okay, good, good, good. And let's just make a little bit of this. We're now at 75, 76 actually in smithing. Let's see what I can do. Okay, yeah. So we'll probably get Curious Smith because at the moment what we're doing is we're trying to unlock as much as we possibly can. Now, there's one thing that I want to do. I want to go to my troops. Okay, so I want to actually show you what I've done here because I've modified them ever so slightly. So what we've done is I have made them into basically, well, kind of a little bit less wasteful Battanian Fian champions, kind of. Because obviously those guys, they use two-handeds as far as I'm aware, and they also have bows and so on. So this is what they're currently, well, this is what this guy's currently using. As you can see, he's using a ranger bow, which is not exactly great, but it's okay. You know, he's gonna do relatively well with that. And then he's using an iron broadsword, which is a two-handed. Now, I could potentially use something a little bit. Can I actually, I can't change it? Okay. I might have to then change his stats because I actually wanted, what I wanted to do was create an archer line in our retinue here that is capable of using a one-handed and a shield, because I felt like that would increase their, well, shall we say, their combat prowess, so they wouldn't die as easily to enemy archers themselves. So yeah, it looks as though what I'm going to have to do is I will have to remove all of this, and then we'll just put them back to two-handed, and there you go. And that's going to have to do here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's going to have to do, and they're going to continue using the two-handed for the moment. I would like to get them some one-handed stuff here, but as you can see, we're going to need to unlock those. It's going to take quite some time for us to do that, but hopefully it's going to be worth it, right? Hopefully it's going to be worth it. But yeah, what I came here to do is I actually came here to hire some of these guys. So it says here, 1 new retinue per 20 renown earned. I technically should have a whole bunch of these available, right? And then we obviously have the BEARTILDE House Guards, and these guys are also Calradian. I've changed their culture. You can change your culture to pretty much anything you want. So if you wanted to, you could, you know, you could do Sea Raiders. You know, you could do Darshi, Corsairs, Calradians, Azerai. You could do anything you wanted. I'm going to do Calradians because I feel like that sounds kind of fun. You know, resurrecting the Calradian Empire or something like that. You know, despite the fact that the Empire is already technically trying to do that, but let's just ignore that for a second. But yeah, what we can do here is we can actually do this as well. So we can gain some troops this way. I actually have no idea how this works. So someone actually suggested that I just mess around with it a little bit and just kind of get used to how things are working with it. And yeah, you are 100% correct. I think it is a good idea for us to try things out, just so we get a bit of an overview, you know, a bit of an overview and a bit of a crash course in what we really want to see. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to Jamaris, that was just taken back from the Azurai. So if we make our way over there, as you can see, I did just get some trade skill. I only got one trade skill point. A little bit worried about that. Okay, I am making some pretty decent cash though, as you can see right there. Yeah, there we go. We're actually making some money. We're actually making really, really good money right there. Are we making any trade skill though? We're not. Oh dear. I have no idea what's going on with that. But yeah, anyway, these guys, oh, they actually have a significant amount of food. So me coming here to sell my grain is not going to do anything. Okay, well, they were besieged for quite some time. So I'm actually quite surprised by that. Technically, what we could do is we could buy a Pugio. Pugios are still relatively good. You can obviously change this if you so desire. Oh, actually, wait a minute. No, they're not. Never mind. Oh, well. I purchased that for nothing. I thought that they were going to give us something really, really good there. But yeah, you can obviously change that if you so desire. You know, if you have better smithing continued and the variety of other mods that I have here, then yeah, you'll be fine. But yeah, as you can see, we do have... Look at this. Look at this. We've already got some guys. We've already got some guys joining us. That's fantastic. Okay, so I can actually recruit some of these looters now as well. So we now have nine people in our army. That is fantastic. I am very, very pleased about that, because now we don't actually need to recruit any people from the faction that we're fighting with or fighting against or anything like that. You can just use your house troops, which I have to admit I very much appreciate. Okay, so we just got this, which is a noble mount. I am going to be using the noble mount. I'm not going to be selling it, despite the fact that it sells for 4,000. I mean, really, how can we say... I mean, come on, how can we say no? You know, it's way too good, right? It's way, way, way too good for us. Okay, so let's have a look here. I would like silver. Could buy some silver. Could buy some... Ooh, could buy some jewelry for 370. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, let's just buy a whole bunch of this. Should I buy all of it? No, I don't want to buy all of it. I'm going to buy 5. Okay, we're going to buy 5 lots, and then we'll just go back to Maranatha and then just sell that. I think that sounds like the best course of action here. It should pay off massively. Or at least I hope so. Okay, so a little bit unfortunate here that we're not really making a huge amount from the jewelry. We did get 2 skill points in trade. Not exactly breaking the bank, are we? No, not exactly great. But it's okay. It's okay, because we come back here, and as you can see, Ortisia has a market for pottery. So I'm thinking right now that what we're going to do is we're going to get about 20 lots of pottery here. They also have a market for tools. So let's get let's get 20 lots of tools as well. And then we'll see what we can do with that, because I'm thinking that that's probably going to be quite nice. I don't know. I feel like it's probably going to be quite nice. Let's zoom on over there. As you can see, we're actually making huge amounts of cash right now thanks to our caravan. Our caravan is actually just blisteringly fast at making cash. So very, very pleased that we got that. And indeed, Gordiana has now given birth, which is fantastic. So we now have our first child. That means that if the worst were to happen, and obviously, let's face it, not just yet, right? Because, you know, the child has not yet grown up. But let's just say that if the worst were to happen and both ourselves, Barney, of course, would be eliminated, would be killed by a soft breeze. And, you know, obviously, let's face it, he'd fall off a wall or something like that. You know, that's what he tends to do. But let's just say that that happens. And then Gordiana also dies through some other random thing. Then, you know, then we're going to be okay. Then we're going to be able to continue playing the game. All right, so let's have a look-see here. This is... Oh, yeah, this is so good. This is so good. Look at this. Look at how much cash we're actually making right here. I think I spent 3,300, didn't I? Or something like that. So this is very, very good. Yeah, I could have probably made some more money if I had just gotten the silver ore. Should I just get the silver ore now? Let's get the silver ore now. Let's just get 15 of it or something like that. I think that sounds pretty good. There we are. 11 skill points. Yes. 11. Oh yeah, absolutely perfect. Okay, so now we're just going to zoom back on over there. Bear in mind, obviously, because fast mode is on, we do have to be kind of efficient, I guess. Slightly, you know. But we've got 28,000 now. This is extremely, extremely good. Okay. Oh, what do we have here? Your reputation as a skilled trader generally does you good, but there is always a downside. When you arrive in Maranath, the market inspector descends from his tower to present you with a list of fees that you supposedly accumulated over the years, based on decrees that go back several centuries. The decrees may be genuine, but in all your talk with merchants, you never heard of anyone ever paying them. Okay, so in other words, we can gain some influence here, which is exactly what we're going to do, as you can see. We're going to lose a little bit of money, but that doesn't matter at all. And we're going to be increasing our reputation for being devious. But that's okay. We don't have to worry about that at all. We're going to get 50 influence, which, as you know, is absolutely amazing if you are a mercenary, which we are. And indeed, I am going to be getting... shall I get a pottery shop? I think that kind of makes sense, considering there are clay things really, really close by. So we are going to be buying a pottery shop. There it is, for 25,000. Very, very significant investment right there, but very important. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to put in another 2,500 into the bank here. Oh, okay. I just got a little bit worried there for a second because it said that I deposited 6,393, but actually that's just telling me the total that I have in there. So obviously every 7 days, as you can see, we are going to be gaining money. 824 gold interest, which is reasonably good in my opinion. I think that's quite nice. And yeah, we're going to just wait for a little bit of time here. I just want to let the markets just kind of refresh somewhat. As you can see, we are now gaining trade skill. We're gaining trade skill. We are gaining loads of money. And wow, yeah, this is going to go crazy. This is going to go really, really fast right here. And hopefully, I'd like to get to 100 in trade, if at all possible. I don't think... Oh, we might. We might make it. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. There it is. Nice. We made it. Okay. So let's go. Your workshops gather trade rumors. Your caravans gather trade rumors. My caravans gathering trade rumors would make much more sense than the workshops, in my opinion. So that's what we're going to do. Now, as I said to you before, I generally don't really care about getting a huge amount of trade skill because my social attribute is so low that I'm never going to be able to make it to 300. It's almost impossible for us to do that. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to focus on intelligence. Like I said before, this is extremely important for us. Medicine skill, engineering, steward, all of that stuff. It's going to be very, very nice. And then, obviously, focusing on endurance and maybe do a little bit in vigor as well would not be so bad. As you can see, though, our balance at the Maranath Bank has grown to this, and our interest has also increased. Technically, what I can also do right now is I can do something like this. We can literally go here, put 10,000 into the bank. And bear in mind, remember, I think, what is the maximum that we can have in the bank? I don't know. I can't remember now. I think it's like 100 million or something like that. some crazy number like that. So thinking about that, I literally cannot wait. That's going to be so extremely fun. Now, as you see here, 3 skill points in trade. More skill points in trade. Yeah, give me all this. Give me all this cash. Give me all this cash. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is we're now going to be going back into the trade screen. It's been enough time for us to maybe have a little bit of a reset. Potentially. Yeah, maybe not so much. Okay, well, let's buy a little bit of pottery, and we're going to see. We're going to see, because maybe, just maybe, we'll still be able to sell the pottery at Ortisia for a reasonable sum. And in the meantime, our trade skill is going to get boosted. Oh yeah, it's going to be going crazy. And hopefully... Yep, there we go. Nice pottery. We can sell that for 2,800. Not too bad. I can even sell hardwood here if I wanted to for a relatively decent price, but I don't really see the need to do that right now. Let's have a look at wine. Wine is not really that good. What about jewelry? Jewelry is actually selling quite nicely here. I'm going to buy 5 just in case we come across, I don't know what, come across some town or another that is, you know, buying jewelry for an insane amount. But yeah, we're still going to get a little bit of trade skill there. Nothing really to write home about. And as you can see, Gordiana is now once again pregnant, which is perfect. Because we need, as I said, we need as many people as we can get our hands on. It's going to make a huge difference. And yeah, we are almost there. Almost to 125, like I told you before. 125 is the goal. Every single time I create a character that is going to have trade skill or something like that, I usually like to go to 125 with it. And there we go, we're almost there. Look at that, there it is. Okay, so 125, absolutely perfect. So now what we can do is we can do some crazy cool things, like we can do this. +1 daily renown from every profiting workshop. Oh yeah, so technically we can do that, or we can do great investor. Now, okay, here's the thing. If you're following in my footsteps and you're, you know, using these perks to gain renown, which is what I generally tend to do nowadays, I think these are fantastic passive ways of just gaining renown, because you don't need to do any battling, right? You don't need to do any battling or anything like that. It's just a really nice little passive increase addition, you know. So if you do decide to do some battling, then you can obviously do that if you want to. Now, here's the thing. You can have many more caravans than you can have workshops. Workshops, you're going to have about 50% of the amount of workshops as you would have caravans. So for example, if I were to just show you here real fast, you can see here that at the moment I can have 6 companions. So technically, if you have enough money, you would be able to have 6 caravans up and running at once. And do bear in mind, of course, as you might expect, caravans make massive money, as you've seen here. Caravans are making huge amounts of money. Workshops are making a decent amount, but not really anything close to the amount that caravans make. Apart from that, of course, caravans are much more dangerous. So that's also a thing. But you can see here, I only have space for 2 workshops in comparison to 6 companions. 6 companions. So if I were to go and buy another workshop, which I would like to do, so what I'm going to do is I will get a, I guess, get a brewery. I guess the brewery is relatively decent. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to even afford it. Nope, it's 28,000. Okay. It's 28,000. All right. So yeah, we are going to probably just wait here for a little bit of time then, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be making a massive amount of cash. Yep, almost. We are at war against the Sturgeons, by the way, so maybe we are going to go into some... I don't think I can even do any battles, to be honest. I'm literally... I have 9 people. I have 9 people, really. I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to do so, but it would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be absolutely fantastic. Oh, actually, you know what? Should I get the smithy instead of the brewery? No, I think the brewery is the way to go here. So I will be buying the brewery here. And what we're going to do now is we are going to go ahead and get Artisan Community. This, for me personally, is extremely good. As I said, if you want to take the risk with the caravans, then by all means, go for Great Investor, because it is a significant amount better when it comes to its renown generation. Like I've said, you can get 6 caravans up and running in the early game. And you know how much that is? Oh yeah, that's 6 renown per day. Ho ho ho. It's very strong. It's very strong. I've used it before in my trading playthrough where I literally didn't fight any battles whatsoever. I was a complete pacifist, and it was absolutely amazing to see that. It really was. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so let's have a look. What do we want? Your men spot several deer on the outskirts of the village, a rare thing in a land where meat and hides are valuable. The villagers tell you that there was an unusual crop of acorns this year, while fear of bandits has prevented them from hunting as they normally would. They invite you to shoot a few deer, as there will be plenty to go around anyway, and the beasts are trampling the crops. Okay, so we can get some meat, or we can just, I don't know, a bunch of loud amateur hunters will scare the game and probably injure themselves. Let your scout bag an animal or two, while the rest of the party marches ahead. Yeah, we could do that, or we could try to get some experience. I don't know. I think we'll just do the second one. We're just going to get some meat. I think that sounds like a relatively decent idea. What is going to my camp going to do? Oh, hello. Send bandits to attack the settlement. Yeah, so as you can see, there are a lot of options if you have Forbury. Just absolutely crazy stuff right here. Because look at this. I need saboteurs to do this scheme right here. So you can even sap the wall, poison the water, food stock sabotage, all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, very, very cool there. And indeed, landowner needs manual laborers. So if you're going to be doing any of those quests that provide you with a lot of prisoners, look no further. There it is. Going to be great. It's going to get you so much cash. It really is. Okay, so first of all, what I want to do is I want to get a couple of mules and things like that. I want to make sure that I can carry a significant amount. Now, I am very low in money, so I'm just going to wait for a little bit of time here. But what's really, really cool now is that I don't need to worry. There we go. I'm no longer a champion, as you can see right there. I'm no longer a champion, which is kind of unfortunate, but yeah, as I said, we don't really need to worry. Oh no! Our caravan person is now, she got captured. Yeah, so this is exactly what I was talking about. That's the reason why I decide to build workshops instead, and why I go for artisan community in the trade screen, or should we say in the trading perk tree, because it's way too risky in my opinion to go for the caravans, because you get this kind of situation. You know, it is very, very harsh. So we'll go for horde leader with her, coaching, what else? Not heroic leader. We'll go for authority, I suppose. Doctor's oath. No. Do I really want... No, I don't want doctor's oath. I want sledges, I suppose. And then we'll go for best medicine. She's leveled up dramatically in pretty much everything, so yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, unfortunate for me that she has now been eliminated, because she's actually, well, she was providing us with a massive amount of cash. Every single day she was giving us about, what, 1,200 to 2,000? So yeah, her being dead now, or not dead, but captured, is very bad. Yes, it's very, very bad. Also, these are the I think these might be the mountain bandits that we were fighting beforehand. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, but yeah. Oh, yeah. They've got mounted. Ooh, they've got mounted. This is kind of harsh. Maybe I can actually do something. Nice damage. Okay. I mean, 29. Not really nice damage, but I mean, it's okay. You know, it's all right. Maybe we can do something here. Oh, this is such a terrible weapon. I need to buy a new polearm. I've been investing so much money in businesses and stuff like that that I have completely neglected my equipment. I am feeling pretty bad about that right now, especially considering... Okay, are my guys actually doing a good job? Okay. Actually, you know what? Charge, guys, come on. It's some pretty decent damage, actually. Not too bad. Surprisingly. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay. I need to spec more into combat skills as well. I am, as I say, I'm just concentrating way too much on the economy, but I think it's a kind of important thing to do, isn't it? I think it's really important. Dearie me. Because now that our caravan is dead, we're going to be having some problems earning money now. Well, maybe not so much, but maybe I'll have to go back into the pits and, you know, just get back my champion status. Maybe that's going to be a thing that we'll have to do. Let's see if we can take out this... Never mind. Okay. Is Gordiana actually still alive? Yeah, she's still alive. Okay. I was a bit worried about that for a real quick second. Nice double kill right there. Double skewering of those guys. Imagine if I actually had a really, really good spear. If I had a good spear, I'd be so much more effective. It would be crazy good. Okay, so there you go. We actually did end up losing quite a few people. Actually... oh, dearie me. Yeah, we actually ended up losing quite a few, but... you know, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Okay, wait a minute. What do we got going on here? We've got some... we've got some nice stuff. Oh yeah, and we've got some javelins. We've got some javelins for Gordiana. This is absolutely incredible because obviously she's using simple javelins right now, which are absolute trash. No offense, but they are really, really bad in comparison to these. So we are going to be giving her these because literally 96 damage in comparison to what she was using beforehand, where she was literally doing, what, 60? Yeah, so these are crazy. These are crazy, crazy good. So she's just going to use that. And we could potentially... no, I'd like to sell this, I think. I'd rather sell that and maybe give her... I mean, she obviously doesn't need any of this, but I need this specifically. So I'm going to be putting that on. Thank you very much. And obviously my auto mod, or my auto equipping mod, is probably going to equip some stuff. And of course we fought some mountain bandits, so they've gotten weaker, you see. They've gotten weaker now. But yeah, otherwise apart from that, I'm thinking that we probably want to... do we want to get more leadership skill? Because I'm thinking we probably want to get riding, don't we? I think we probably want to get riding skill, and I would like to spec some into vigor as well. Do I? Do I want to spec more in vigor? Because I'm thinking right now that I don't really need anything in endurance either. I could go for some more intelligence. Or, no, I don't want to do social. I know I said I shouldn't do social. Alright, so before we do anything else, it's probably a good idea for me to sell my armor that we just gained from the fight. Look at that, 2,100, so extremely easily from that. Very, very nice. We also have this much, look at that. We're getting 2,100 every 7 days now. And indeed, it's only going to get better, right? It's only going to get better because I'm not really going to take anything out from there. I think we're probably just going to leave it. And then we're just going to see what happens, right? We're just going to see what happens. Hopefully it's going to work out really, really well. I could go into... yeah, I'm pretty... you know what? I'm pretty close to getting my champion status back. So I'm thinking autumn 2nd. That's actually really, really close. So let's just do that. There we go. And we should be able to do it. Okay, so I'm probably not going to do a 4 in a row or anything like that. I'll do 5 in a row. Can we do weapon? No, we can't do weapons. No, we can't do weapons because I'm not a champion right now. Okay, so 5 versus 5. Should be pretty easy. All I need to do is make sure I don't get at the front here. Or I don't get people concentrating on me. There we go. Yes. Yes, there we go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That is what we want to see. And yep, that's it. Nice and easy. Look at that. Look at how simple that was. Now we are indeed a champion once again, I believe. Are we? No? Still not? Really? No, we are. There you go. So current tier is champion. So does that mean... oh yeah, no, I have to do the... okay. That means I don't automatically get my patronage back? Okay, I understand. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I don't have a really, really big issue with that one way or another. But it does allow me to do a 4 in a row here and just get a significant amount of fame in the meantime with a weapon. Oh, we've got one of these. Okay, well this is interesting. Especially considering it's super easy to do damage with this weapon. I love this weapon, by the way. Probably one of my favorite weapons, just purely because it is so extremely... yeah, as you can see right there, it is so extremely damaging. And you can do so much damage really, really quickly with it. And look at how much one-handed skill I was able to get. Extremely, extremely fast. And here we have it. Look at this. We've just made it to Clan Tier 2. And that means we might, in fact, yep, as you can see right here, your relation and influence with the notable is not sufficient, or a valid mercenary contract with the Lord of these lands. So in other words, all I need to do is literally get some relation with this guy, and then I should be able to start recruiting Battanian units. Let me actually just take a quick look over here, because we may in fact have the opportunity to recruit from somewhere else. We don't have any relation with these guys either. So let me go over... there aren't any noble... that's kind of annoying. Yeah, oh yeah. This is also kind of annoying. The Botanians are getting massacred. And this is obviously a bit of a problem because if... And this is a pretty big if. I'm not sure if they're gonna lose it, but if they lose Maranath, I'm gonna lose a massive amount of money, basically. And that's something that I would really prefer not to lose. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna have to do is I might have to leave their kingdom right now. I literally might have to leave their kingdom. I am going to do that. Because otherwise I am going to be stopped by all of these people consistently, and it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult for us to do anything else. So I am going to be very, very careful here, and we are just going to play things very smartly, because otherwise we're just going to get murdered. We're just going to get murdered 6 ways from Sunday, and we would really prefer not to have that happen. Thank you very much. So I will be erring on the side of caution here, despite the fact that I obviously don't want to do that. I'd like to, I would have liked to have remained, you know, a person that stays with the Botanians, but, well, anyway, let's have a look. Your clerk at your brewery in Maranath has caught one of your foremen skimming from the funds you used to purchase raw materials. Luckily, he did not take much, but he readily confessed, or shall we say, and he readily confessed. How do you prevent this from happening in the future? Okay, so let's have a look. Well, you treat all your workers as potential thieves. I'm going to take that one just purely because that is the best from a gameplay perspective rather than a roleplay perspective. If I was doing this roleplay, you know, roleplay-wise, then I'd probably say you appeal to your men's better natures. You plead for leniency for your foreman and beg them not to take advantage. Oh, no. That's a little bit too weak, in my opinion. I think we... Yeah, institute a complex scheme of bookkeeping, even though it will make purchases more onerous and slow down production. Let's do that one. There we go. It is going to lose a little bit of revenue for the workshop, but the workshop is already doing decently. It's okay, you know, it's not super, super bad or anything like that. And indeed, we do have another level up with her. Let's go and get Sweeping Wind for her or something along those lines. Okay, so... the best thing I can do now is probably try to wander around a little bit, try to get some really, really good trades going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to go to every single town in the area here, and I'm just going to very quickly go into the trade screen, have a look around, see if there's anything super, super good in regards to its pricing. Like, Felt is not doing too badly, but still not exactly great, and especially considering I don't have a huge amount of money right now. If we still had our caravan, that would be a different thing, but obviously that's exactly the reason why being a mercenary and having caravans, very risky. Alright, so we're actually getting a pretty significant amount of cash from this particular trade. Not amazing, but good enough, right? 5,000 is quite nice, and we actually did manage to level up as well. So the question is, do I want to level my athletic skill another time, or do I want to level my smithing or my riding skill, something like that? I feel like athletics is probably going to be the way to go here, especially considering it is starting to get to the cap. And, yes, Gordiana has now given birth once again, so that's pretty fantastic in itself. So, first of all, we also want to make sure that we are able to recruit some people from here. Maybe we're able to now? No, we're still not able to. We don't have any relation with these guys, though. So, that's the thing. I need to see if we can maybe recruit some people from some of these places when I have... wait, how do I... How do I get relation with these guys? Because I thought I had relation just by doing some bandit fights in the area, but it must be a specific village that has gained relation, and I'm not entirely sure which one it is, because otherwise we wouldn't have gained so much charm skill, right? Surely we wouldn't have gained so much charm skill. Ah, Mr. Caladog has a quest. Maybe we want to do that. If we could potentially do that, that might be kind of nice. I could enter his service again if we want to, but Raid an enemy territory. Ooh, that would be a little bit too harsh for us right now. But yeah, we're actually starting to do quite nicely here. So I don't think we need to be super, super careful with it. We do have some people... Ah, yeah, actually, wait a minute. We do have a little bit that we can smelt here as well. Let me do a little bit of refining. There we are. Do some of this. There we are. Okay, so actually we can do some pretty cool things here because look at how much we actually have. We have some significant things. So unfortunately for me, it is going to be a little bit annoying to do this because I am having, well, basically, yeah. Yes, I have no hardwood. I have no hardwood. So once again, it's one of those cases where we literally are bottlenecked by the amount of resources that we have, which is entirely what it should be like, in my opinion. You know, you shouldn't be bottlenecked by stamina. Yeah, well, you know, that's just my own personal thinking on it. Anyway, okay. Otherwise, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. We made it all the way to Clan Tier 2 very, very nicely. As you can see, we also have 2 children already. And indeed, look at the amount of companions that I can actually have. You know what? I'm kind of thinking right now that if we do have enough to create another caravan, we might in fact want to go for some more companions and then just scale up our trading business like that, and basically just make huge amounts of money that way. And at the same time, by the way, I don't know whether you've noticed, but our party has increased dramatically. Well, not as dramatically as I would have liked, but has increased quite a bit just purely because, as you saw from the retinue screen, right? As you saw from the retinue screen, it says 1 new retinue per 20 renown earned. In other words, every, what is it? Every 10 days, that's kind of unfortunate, isn't it? Yeah, every 10 in-game days, we will be getting one of these, which I do think is a little bit too slow. I think that's kind of annoying. So what we could do is once we get our caravans up and running and stuff like that, which I think would be very, very cool, we could go into the arena and just respec out of artisan community and go and get great investor, and then we could start making some huge leaps and bounds. I think that might be the way to go here. That might be the play. I think that might be the play. As you can see, we do have relation with this guy, and it is not enough. The rights are for Britannia. Your loyalty is to no one. Okay, so if I join these guys as a mercenary again, we may in fact be able to recruit from them. But as it stands, yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. By the way, there is a way for me to duel the king and actually kill him and take the faction from him. There is a way to do that as well, thanks to another mod, which is a classic line I have now, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.